Hello and welcome. I am looking at the Bitstamp exchange for Bitcoin on multiple time frames. Quickly going through it. This is the hourly chart spanning since May the 10th. Fibonacci from this high and this low, 1705 at first. So it resisted it, broke above it after a small retracement, had one standard move higher, came back to find support where it's had a nice push ever since. That was the first one, and of course, any type of downward motion happens, you can expect that area to be the next key support. 1775-ish area, 1773. The big Fibonacci mark from the high and the low, which really wasn't that much resistance at first, got above it with one small move, has a move back to where it comes from, standard technical analysis, then breaks the resistance, has this small move, maybe a failed breakout. Keyword right now is maybe, because it's still holding this key support, but because it's established this nice little range here, breaking 18, but more importantly, breaking well closer to 1850. This thing is looking good to go to 19 now, and breaking 19, well, the move up, you get the correction from it. High, low, upward target, 2095. Okay, so let's now adjust this time frame. And there we have it. This is the 6-hour chart going back to April. Let's draw some trend lines in here. We got, oh, that one's long done. It could come back to it though, but it's obviously well above that area now. We could maybe draw one in here. That's still relatively accurate, and maybe it's an area it pulls down to. But it obviously has broken some key long-term ones, as I've talked about. This is just parabolic. Don't even look at anything like that like it's realistic. It could touch it, but we'll see. There's, again, this is showing pulling back to where it came from when it left the key point here, because it developed 16 to be huge, that when this moment occurred, going from 1600 here with a small move here, then here, that's normal. 16 to 1900, that's a gain of about close to 20% just like that. So that states again, breaking here, yeah, probably move to 21. And if Webbot, who's JSTIP4 has been mentioning 2300 as a decent intermediate term top, if that's the case and 2100 is a number, then that's contradictory, isn't it? Well, 1750 was supposed to be a key level here. You see it was, and then it had another move higher. So maybe the same thing will happen where it goes to 21. Maybe it'll pull back to like 19 or 1950 or 2000, and then make a move up to the 23. And maybe 1900 isn't resistance really at all. Then it goes up another couple hundred points like nothing, because if an area that's supposed to be resistance like 2100 would be now, and it's not, expect a fast continuation as it goes further. As far as the downside is concerned, for any type of reversal, one of the first things to notice is any lower highs. And we've already got this low established. So now, obviously, lower lows, that's important too. But if this comes down, you're like, oh, is this going to be a lower high? And then you start to add a lower low to the mix. Then the cautionary plays are going to come in. You might have a decent break to the downside if that were to occur. But then again, that strengthens why if it breaks 1900, because you're like, oh, higher low established, we're making a higher high. You just get some pretty sick upward moves. Let's even expand this out again. Looking at this on the daily chart, which goes back to the earlier part of this year, Well, here's the previous high. That was resistance. Not much in here. And so now the question is, after one big gain up, and really the gain starting from back in here, how big of a decent correction is it going to have? It's probably going to have multiple 100 points. That would be more than 3 when it does. And if there's any big correction at this stage, the obvious spot is, where did you come from? And the answer was 1300. It was here, and it was many moons ago before back in here. And because it was many moons ago, this isn't that much of a move, where if this thing just continuously goes higher, then you start to forget about this area coming back again towards. And this is the weekly chart. Sorry for these numbers looking so odd. I'm just resizing it to make it look the best I can for the screen. But we put an uptrend line. I have to use HIT BTC because Bintstamp's like the only real good one I've noticed on here as far as data exchange. But they have an error on one of the numbers that they haven't fixed. So I can't use it for this long-term view. But however you surface this uptrend line, and I'm using a log chart, I think that's very important. It's a clear, concisive break. And even if I take a look at this uptrend line, definitely important for any type of corrections. I think this is exactly one of the better spots to look for when a deep correction next takes place. Keyword next. But if you look at it to connect even the most points like this, no matter how I'm surfacing this, this move that is occurring is breaking the trend. So it opens up the availability and gate to hog wild parabolic moves to occur, because you need a lot of times of pre-indicators. And when you have breaking of trend lines like this with normal good upward gains as a pre-indicator, that's not the favorite, no, but it's when it would happen. It ain't going to happen in like time like this. It ain't going to happen here because it's just unlikely it's going to go boom and it's a big up move. You first need to show the fact that you've established really strong moves. And when we look at just the green candles in here, nice, look at this. I mean, consecutively, week after week after week, this thing is going up. So it's going to have to stop at some point, but it's not stopping yet. And when we see it on the shorter term where buyers have been coming back in control from the 1600 handle, then when Cliff High, the Webbot, has been talking about 2300, well, I'm going to continue to keep an eye on it as we move forward and as the price moves higher. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day.